lecha yavim tovot shegmalani kol tov.
Amen. Shigmala kol tov, Malach kol tov selah. Right, and finally, last but not least, actually, Izzy, do you want to first translate that blessing and just read it together in English on the other side of the page? Blessing. Yeah, do you want to just read the one Jen just made?
Yeah, so it says, "Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who bestows good things on the unworthy, who has bestowed on me much good."
Amen.
Amen.
Not that anyone here is unworthy. And finally, we'll do the bracha of Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
Amen. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Izzy and Jen are going to share a little bit about the name behind Gila Sima.
Okay, so thank you guys all for coming. Can you hear me? I'm back. Okay, great. So Gila is named after both of our grandmothers. Gila was my mom's mom, and when she was born in Berlin, her name was Gisela, and then I didn't think I was gonna cry. And then when she was 14, she went to Israel and went by the name of Gila. And then when she was 20, she moved. She joined her mom in New York and went by Jill. But her Hebrew name was always Gila, and Gila means joy. And Sima means treasure, and so together that makes Gila our joyous treasure. And my grandma was a very special woman. She was very committed to her family and to us, and she, sent me a card every day when I was at camp during the summer, and would work at the gift shop during Hebrew school so that I would see her during my break and she could buy me and my friends candy. There was lots of candy involved. She sent care packages with hidden candy at camp, and she always had candy dishes out. I guess as a kid, that's one of the things that you remember. She was very glamorous and beautiful, and she was very brave and strong. When she was in Israel, she drove troop transit for the British Army Women's Division, and she would drive the soldiers out into the desert and then just wait there for them to come back. And she said that she was never scared. And she restarted her life many times, like going from Berlin to Israel and then Israel to New York, and then when my grandfather needed to start his life over again out here, she moved her family out here. And I like to think that I drew on that strength and trying to have Gila. And I hope that Gila will draw on that strength in her life, as we know that life is full of surprises and trials. And strength is about the best thing that you can have.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for coming again. So Sima was my father's mother. She passed way too early, I think, for all of us. So she passed away when I was 7 years old, and she was maybe in her mid 60s. But she was a woman who had a very, very hard life. So she spent the war in Siberia, where she basically came down with rheumatic fever, and that ended up causing her heart problems for the entirety of her life, pretty much. So they had to leave Israel many years later because she couldn't handle the heat. But basically, like, despite the fact that, like, she lived with very little, like, she was one of the most joyous people I have ever met in my entire life. Like, I mean, I only knew her for a very short period. She passed when I was 7, but, like, her view, like, she really viewed every day as a gift and wanted to make really wanted to make the most out of it possible. Like, you could not help but be happy when you were around her. And so, you know, one of the wishes that I have for Gila is that she's able to grasp that same joy. So,
Mazel tov.
thank you guys.
That's it.
That's it. Enjoy.